Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. Last episode on the 81 Silverado. Thought I had it all fixed, ready for swap the bed and start the body work. But I had put in a quart or so of transmission fluid, and we went on that test drive and then came back and into the video. Well, since then, a bunch of transmission fluid leaked. And I was underneath there. I couldn't really tell where it's all coming from, whether it's coming from one spot or there's three different spots. There's transmission fluid dripping from the front yoke of the drive shaft, which means it would be the rear seal, but then I think it's the speedometer, and there's another little electronic deal. But anyway, I'm going to try the speedometer seal and the rear seal. See if I can fix that. Now, the power steering's still leaking. Hose is dry. Looking at it, it's empty now, or low, real low. Now, as I was looking at it a few minutes ago, it dripped from the front. So the seal in the front is bad. So we'll have to take the power steering pump off the parts truck, hoping it's good. And anyway, we got to take all that apart, get the belts off, and check where that squawking's coming from. It's either a bearing or a belt, or the warped pulley on the harmonic balancer. Anyway, we're gonna have to take all that apart. So we need to fix all that before we get on to the body work, but we will get on to the body work on this video and at least get the bed. We're gonna get my Jeep and tow that up here. I got a pretty good idea in my head how I'm gonna take that bed off with just me, one person. So stick around, see how I can do that. I got an idea, but where to take it off, I can't leave. I'm going to pull it up here, but I don't want to leave the bed here because this is where Nikki walks around, and don't want her bumping into it, being a blind dog. Right, Nikki? How you doing, Nikki? So yeah, I'm going to pull it up here and then maybe try to push it in here and get the bed off right in here somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to pull this truck back. I'm not ready to work on it right yet. I just want to start this video and show you all the all the fluids coming out of it. I'm going to push it back where the El Camino is, and anyway, I got to move some stuff around. So we'll get back to it in a few days, and once I get the seals and stuff from it, get the old power steering pump off. I want to wrap up all the mechanical on it. Everything's great on it except for those two leaks. So we'll get that fixed and I'll be back in a few days, guys. Okay, guys, it's been a few days. I went ahead and made the dog pen in that little carport and took the fence down from this one, so I get two more cars in here. So I got the 74 GTO and the Nomad wagon. Both started right up, drove them in here. Yeah, I don't drive the wagon that much anymore. I don't really need it for going to town car or nothing. She'll be going back on some trips. If I have to make some longer trips, I'll take it. And then of course hot rod power tour, stuff like that. Okay, so I made this little pen here for Nikki. How you doing, Nikki? Doing okay? She just don't run around very much. I made this big pen out of this one, but she just kind of sits there all day. She don't really run around or anything. So okay, so where we left off, we're just gonna go ahead and fix all the squawking and leaks and stuff with this. I was just gonna kind of leave it. It'll, you know, the belts or whatever would squawk, and you could rev it up and it would stop, but every time you go to start it, it would start again. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that Not sure what it is. Could be the belts, could be a bearing in the alternator, power steering pump, something like that. Or it could be the harmonic balancer's warped. This motor's been jacked around, so somebody didn't put it on right. Okay, so I just went ahead and took the power steering pump off of this one. Parts truck. Do got an alternator in case we need one of them. I don't know if it's going to be any better. This thing's been sitting for decades in a junkyard. Power steering pump was empty, so we don't know. But we got the new hose on this one, so we'll use that, which I thought originally was leaking, but it's the pump itself. So I just went ahead and took the pump off here. Now I remember that I had a new harmonic balancer I bought a while back for something, and I never used it. It's still in the box. I remembered that I bought it, but I can't remember where I put it. It may be in my mobile home shed over there. But yeah, let me start it up and I'll show you what it's doing, what we need to fix. Well, now the timing is off on this. And here's squawking. You can see the harmonic balancer. So yeah, it could be the AC compressor as well. But if you go over here, it sounds like the alternator. So I'm going to take the alternator belt off first. Take the alternator belt off, start it up. Okay, it runs pretty good, but it's shaking just a little bit, and I'm 90% sure that's the timing. Put new spark plugs in it. But last video on this, took it for a test drive for a little bit and come back. Now it wasn't hot. This temperature gauge down here works, so it wasn't hot. It was just up to temperature, right? So when I shut it off and went to start it, it would go like that, which means the timing's off. I'm not really one to mess with the timing light or anything, because you know, every vehicle runs a little bit different, a little bit better at different settings. So basically I'll just turn the distributor till it doesn't do that, till it doesn't right here it starts right up. But if an engine's out of time, when you shut it off, you go to start it and it'll like that. So you back off the distributor a little bit till it doesn't do that. That's the only way I set the timing. Okay, so that's what we'll have to do, but we'll save that till later. Now I'll put in new plug. Distributor cap could be, points on it could be a little bit corroded or whatever, but we know the timing's definitely out. We got to fix all the squawking, got to change the power steering pump, get rid of that leak hopefully, and that's what we'll do before we start the body work, because everything else is done. Interior, we got to do the transmission leaks too. We'll get to that. I bought a new seal. Hopefully that's the right one for the back of the transmission, but I'm pretty sure the speedometer seal is leaking. We'll get up under there later on, but there's where we put in the end of the transmission. You got to pull the drive shaft to put it in. But AutoZone, nothing's even listed for a speedometer seal. Okay, I did go ahead and buy the whole weather strip kit. This was $83 shipped. here's what we need mainly is these seals here. These are all busted up, no good. And these seals here, the keep forgetting the name of them, the seals that the window goes in, and they're all brittle. You had to pull that apart to get the wing window out when we changed it, and of course it broke, but it's all really, really brittle. But what we'll do is we'll put on all this stuff after it's painted. But right before we paint it, we'll go ahead and take off these and not the tracking moldings. Can't think of the name of it. Anyway, that comes with it here. Right here. Those are it. And these are these moldings here, which we don't need. But a lot of vehicles are kind of the same. We'll probably just save them for later. Because if you went ahead and bought the other ones separate, it would be more. So basically, these are free. Okay, but it seems to be good. I don't think it came with the, which we're not going to change anyway, the vent window rubbers. Because they're a pain in the ass. These rubbers around here, I'm not going to bother with them, but I think they're about 50 bucks more. So anyway, I spent another 83 bucks on it, but anyway, thought I'd show you that. Parts are pretty cheap for this truck, stuff like that. You know, we did the $60. I still got this here in case the mirror falls down. 60 bucks for the cover. I was watching Puddin's Fab Shop there, where he did he shortened the long bed to a short bed and all that. That truck, he got it all sponsored, free from a sponsor. All the door panels and carpet and dash and everything. Well, I added it all up. It was 2,500 bucks. So he advertised that as a cheap budget build or something. But yeah, for the average person that would have to buy all that stuff, the seat, he had it all reupholstered, all new door panels, all new, you name it. It was all new, all donated, sponsor type stuff, which is fine. But it definitely was not a budget build by the time he was done. And he just gave it away to one of his friends because, you know, he makes so much money on YouTube that stuff like that doesn't bother him. But for me, when we spent 150 bucks on this, and that's about it on the interior. Now we spent another 80 on weather stripping, so we're doing a real budget build on this, not just a pretend budget build with a whole bunch of free sponsor stuff on it. Okay, so yeah, we're done with the white El Camino. Runs and drives great. If you haven't seen the last few videos, took it for a test drive last video. It drives great, looks great. I just got it parked over there. It's a shame it's not going to be driven because, man, it's a nice driving car. But anyway, don't have much use for it to drive it, so I'll be driving the black one every now and then. Same with this one, won't have much use. It'll probably be parked after I finish it, but we'll get her all done and fixed up and on the road again, ready to be put on the road with a new owner and all that stuff. So yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and fix all the squawking. Hopefully the power steering pump, fix that leak, and we'll go from there. But right now I'm gonna loosen the alternator, take that belt off, then start it up. We'll go from there. If it's not that, take off the belt. We got to take off the belt for the AC and the power steering pump anyway, and then we'll start it up. And yeah, it's going to be one of the two, unless it's that harmonic balancer. In the meantime, I'll be looking for that new harmonic balancer. We may change it, but I don't We want to take all this stuff off. But we need to fix it and fix it right and get it done. Okay, so I'll be back, guys. Okay, just took off the alternator belt right here. It's a little stiff, but well, that's it. No squawking. Now whether that wobbling harmonic balancer made the bearing go out in the alternator, I don't know. But I think that's it. Now we got to change the power steering pump and the alternator. Oh, no. No, it's still squawking. Maybe everything's worn out. Well, okay guys, I'll be back. Okay guys, I just took the AC belt off. Right here, just had to loosen that bolt, and this one here. And so the only belt on it is a power steering. Although that AC belt wrapped around the power steering pulley too, but okay, so I think it's a combination of both of them, the alternator and the AC. That AC goes on, can go on after this belt, so it's not like we got to take this belt off to put the AC belt back on. We'll probably just leave it off. And well, hang on. Yeah, the alternator belt. Okay, yeah, the alternator goes first, AC goes second, then the power steering third. So yeah, we'd have to take the alternator belt back off to put the AC belt on. I don't know if the AC works, but at least it's all there and it's all hooked up, which is a good selling point. I don't know if it's charged up or will hold the charge and all that. Probably won't get to that. But, or it just could be that it's this belt that's bad, or these belts really don't look that bad. I mean, the truck's only been sitting for 10 years, but oh, the alternator belt's definitely shot. Missing teeth. Yeah. Well, I can take the alternator belt off that parts truck and put it on there. Yeah, this one definitely needs an alternator belt. But the other truck's been sitting for decades, so I don't think it's going to be much better. But I can go ahead and put the alternator belt on there and see if that stops, instead of changing this whole alternator over, because it really doesn't sound that bad. So yeah, let me do that. And I'm just going to change the power steering pump, which is just a few bolts. Bolt there. Took that one off already. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay, guys. Got the power steering pump on there. Started it, filled it up, started it up. No leaks. Sounded good. Then I put the belt on this air compressor and it started squawking. So the bearing's probably going out in this. Now the alternator, so I just took the belt off and left it off. That's the middle belt. Outside belt is the alternator. Put the old one on, put the better belt on. Well, not much better, but the one that wasn't torn up. Squawking. Took it off, took the alternator off the parts truck, put it on, still squawking. And this getting really hot. Couldn't even touch it. Just running for like 30 seconds. Both alternators. So either the bearing was going out in both of them. Both of them were rebuilt. One was a whatever the hell that is, deluxe. The one from Duralast. Or they're just old and bearings going out in both of them. So this alternator is off the engine that was in the 78 El Camino. I think that's the distributor for it too, because the guys that wanted it were just going to rebuild it for a stock car. So I took the alternator, sold the power steering pump, and anyway, I got that stuff off of it. So anyway, so then I started it up and no more squawking. I don't think it is. Just a little bit, but so I think it's a harmonic balancer. I couldn't find that new one I had. Now I could take the one off the parts truck and put it on here, but well, and maybe the pulleys that are bent. I don't know. I would assume somebody jacked with that harmonic balancer and got it off the rubber that separates them, and you get it off a little bit, it's going to be warped. But it could be the pulleys. I don't know. Somebody could have took a hammer to it, bent the shit out of it. If it's the pulleys, that wouldn't be too bad. Just getting a harmonic balancer puller and crap in there. It's just gonna, I'd have to take everything out to do it. But yeah, I have to look right there. That actually looks straight, and then the pulleys were all bent. So I can try swapping the pulleys over. It's the same on that parts truck. But that's what it's doing. It's been warped like that for so long. It's wearing out the bearings in the AC compressor, alternator, and probably the power steering pump, and pulling it so much that it made a leak right there in the front. So yeah, this ain't gonna last. We're gonna have to do something. I can try the pulleys, but not right now. For right now, it's okay, but just for putting around here and the thing. But if you were to put it on the road and go on a trip, yeah. So we'll have to get back with that. It's getting late in the day. Nikki, about ready to go for a walk? You ready to go for a walk? I give her some bread. Sometimes she likes bread, but... How you doing, Nikki? You want to go for a walk? Not gonna eat the bread? Cats will eat it. Them cats will eat that bread. Okay. So anyway, guys, tomorrow we're going to maybe do the pulley and then do the transmission rear seal at least, and maybe just take that speedometer gear out, silicone it up, and stick it back in. If it's that's leaking, we'll take a look and we'll see. Or the dipstick could be wrong and it could be overfilled, because it was leaking before and then it seemed like it was empty. Well, not empty, it needed 2 quarts, and I put 2 quarts in, and all of a sudden it started leaking out. So who knows? Anyway, got quite a bit done. Spent most of the day doing this crap. Then we got to adjust the distributor a little bit, get the timing. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. What you doing, Nikki? Playing with the cats? You're playing with the cats? Okay, guys. I got, well, hang on for just a second. Turn off the radio. Okay, I changed over the pulley, and that seemed to fix everything. It must be warped. Harmonic bouncer seemed to be okay. Let's start it up. How good you can see. It's a lot straighter than the other one. That gets pretty straight. Okay, I adjusted the timing a little bit. So it seems to be okay. Now we'll get on to the transmission leak. It's a little bit rough. I'm not quite sure. I put some carb cleaner down the carb. It could need distributor cap cleaned out, spark plug wires or something, but it runs pretty good. It's got more power now. I adjusted the timing a little bit. Adjusted it one way and took it around the yard here, and the carburetor kind of popped and it seemed sluggish. And I adjusted it the other way, and it seemed to have a lot of power, spinning the tires and no popping. So I think that's it. Okay, let me get it up on a couple of ramps here, and we'll get underneath and I'll show you the leaks. It's still leaking. It's a quart low. So I don't know, I think I overfilled it last time, because I think I put in about 2 quarts last time. I might overfilled it. But anyway, we'll get up underneath there and I'll show you what's dripping, and looks like it's leaking, but okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Get up under here, see if we can okay, before, the other day, it was all dripping from here, but I couldn't tell if it was leaking from the seal here or this speedometer deal right here. See this? I think that's what it is this. So just a little screw that holds on this bracket that holds that in. So let's get over here. See, there's even fluid over here. Then there's a little electrical thing right there. I'm not sure what that is. It almost seems like a temperature sensor right there. And then the linkage, could be the linkage right there. Who knows? Or it could be the front seal of the transmission leaking down here, then across. It all drips there. So I don't know, if I had a rear seal, that's easy enough. Take off the rear drive shaft, stick that seal in there, and for this, I think I'm just going to the speedometer does work, but it's a weird little thing in there, isn't it? Take that apart and just put a bunch of silicone in it. That's about all I can do. And yeah, there's a little drip right there. Anyway, let me see what I can do, and I'll be back. Okay, guys. There's the little deal there. That should be the little gear, but anyway, I guess it needs this seal here. But I got a thing of seals. I could try replacing that, but I'm just cleaning it up. I'm gonna put some silicone around it and stick it back in. I'll see if that comes out. I don't think it. I'm not exactly sure. This seems all loose. It was just shoved into that, but I'm pretty sure the speedometer worked. Anyway, I'm gonna mess with that and I'll be back. Okay, guys. Get underneath this truck. Went ahead and put the new seal in here. Wiped it down. Yeah, that little plastic deal just has a little gear on the end. It came right out right after I turned the camera off, and then stuck it in here. Okay, so I just put some silicone around there. I don't know if it'll help or not. That was yesterday. It hasn't leaked since, but anyway, take the drive shaft out. That rear yoke on the drive shaft has got a couple little drips. That's gonna have to be replaced. I believe I topped off the rear end fluid. Probably have to rewatch the video, see if I did. Pretty sure I did. Some more fluid seemed to be coming from over this area, but I tightened up the pan bolts. They're, you know, they weren't really loose, just snugged them up a little bit better. I bought a transmission pan gasket. AutoZone didn't have one. O'Reilly's didn't have one in stock. I went to Napa, paid twice as much, and they had one. And then I got it home and opened the box, and there's no filter in it. Usually buy them with the gasket and the filter. But what I think I'm gonna do is just park this one, get it off the ramps, pull it back there and park it, put some of this new cardboard underneath, and see if it drips any out, you know, for the next few days or day or something like that. And we'll see, we'll go from there, see if we can tell where it's coming from. But so okay, Now I'm going to park it back here, put some cardboard under it. Meantime, I'm going to get my Jeep and a chain and tow this up here. What I want to do is pressure wash the bed out because it's filled with caked on mud and stuff. So I want to go ahead and just do all that. See all this stuff here is just all caked on there. Okay, so why am I changing beds if you're new? This one has no rust on it whatsoever. There's a little dent or something right there. It's probably from the forklift at the auction. So the only main thing is all these dents here, which we'll pull out. And I guess all these holes here. It's got a good tailgate I can sell. But so anyway, I think this bed is going to come off a lot easier than this one, since this one's definitely a Texas truck. Been here since day one, but it's been parked in a junkyard so long, so it hasn't had the wear and tear of this one, which has only been off the road for 10 years. Either that or they spent some time up north with this truck. But yeah, you guys will probably see this rust and go, oh shit, that's nothing. Yeah, it's not really bad. It's all fixable. The driver's door's been swapped, but this one hasn't, so it's got rust there. Cab corners, not bad, but this is the main thing here. All this rust here and here on both sides. It's all fixable, patch panels and all that, but I think it's going to be a lot better to swap the bed because we got holes in it. See these holes here? There's some holes up near the front. And rust here. That's all fixable too. You put a bed mat and fill it in, truck bed coating. But you know, I got an extra truck bed. They're not worth shit. Been advertising it for 200 bucks. Had a few calls, but nobody showed up. So, you know, the truck bed was worth $1,000. I would sell it and fix this one, but it's not. So I'm going to use it on this. Now this one there is Bondo, so I think this side here they Bondoed it up and really rusted there. And Bondo. Okay, so that's why we're changing beds. So this bed it's a little rusty under there. These bolts are going to be a bitch to get off. The other one's probably not so bad. So the first step is to get this truck over here. I think I can't leave it here because of Nikki walks and she'll bump into it. So I'm going to try to get it up here and then push it back up onto the slab here. Then unbolt it. And I got an idea of how I can get that bed off by myself. It may or may not work, but you can see me struggle, or I'll tell you about it, both. So then once I get that bed off, then we'll pull the truck and probably stick it back there for now till we get this bed off and stick this bed on that truck and load it full of all them parts that are laying beside it. Got extra doors and crap over there. Load everything in the bed and then park it on the other side of the property. Get it out of the way. There's still a lot of parts to sell on that truck. There's a lot of good stuff. I only paid 400 bucks for that. No, get that back just in scrap value alone, just hauling it over the scales. But no, we're gonna get another grand out of that before I scrap it by selling stuff. Or you know, so I don't know how much I can get out of it, but a lot more than scrap. Okay guys, so that's the plan. Okay, so let me get a jump box there and get my Jeep ready. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it pulled up to here. I wanted to kind of back it up over here, but tailgate opens and closes good. That's going to be worth some money. I'm going to ask about 200 bucks for that, if anybody needs a good one. I think the one on the red one's good. But didn't notice. Get these cats out of the way. This is all bent up here, but that should be able to bang that down. Again, from the forklift driver at the auction, I'm sure. Probably going to cut these cab corners out, but this one's got a little bit of rust right there. That one there looks good. Anyway, yeah, she's dented up pretty good, but we got that new dent puller I'll show you. We can pop all them out. But anyway, I think I'll pull it off first and then wash it out. But yeah, we got 2 bolts on the back and then a couple, 1 or 2 up front. 2 up front here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 8 of them. Got to disconnect the gas tanks. Yeah, this one has dual doors. Just undo these screws here and pop them off there. We're not going to mention before in another video. This just got a single tank. This got duals, but everything's going to be shot on this. Gas tanks are probably going to be all screwed up. The buttons, the fuel pump levers and all that's going to be all shot. If everything was in good shape, yeah, it would probably be worth to switch everything over from this truck to this one, make it a dual tank. But since everything's probably got to be replaced anyway, I'm not going to do it. So it's going to have an extra door on there. Just whoever drives it, buys it, got to know that the driver's side is the one that takes the gas. Yeah, driver's side right there. So anyway, I don't think it's too rusty under there. I haven't really looked. I had 3 good tires, but this one I had to drag it. Don't know if that'll hold air. I got another one with a tire on, but it's leaked somewhere. It won't last very long. Anyway, we'll get this up, and I think I'll just pull the bed right there, right where it sits, and pull the truck up there somewhere tomorrow. It's late in the day. I got tied up doing some other stuff, but yeah, disconnect the gas deals, probably take off the back bumper, tail lights, tailgate, and then I'm going to attempt to pull it off. So I'll get that pulled off tomorrow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hoist. I'm going to try to get 2 areas here below the bed after the tailgate's off and lift up the ass end. And then I'm going to, I'll tell you later how I'm going to get the front up and get that out of the way to pull the truck out from underneath of it. We're going to try it that way, because it would take probably 3 or 4 guys to lift this whole long bed off. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll get started. Okay guys, next day. Took off all the stuff here, bumper, tailgate, some tail lights. That dash stuff was in the bed. I just cleaned out the bed with a broom. Most of it came out. It's pretty good shape other than just 1 dent right here. Might see if we can get that out. Okay, all the bolts, nuts came off pretty easily. It's one good thing about living in the South. You don't have all them rusted on bolts that you got to take torches and cutting wheels and everything to get them off. So you just take the bottom nut off. So like I said, there's 8 of them. This one's a real long one, goes all the way down. Yeah, the red truck may be a different story of getting these nuts off. They may be more, it's more rusted than this one. So, okay, so got them off. Had to take one little clamp off the gas tank filler neck. God, I had it here. This little deal here, and then a ground wire from the filler. Show you. Yeah, just right in here, like that off. And anyway, these little braces here will stay with the bed. And I think that's it. I just cut the wires at the back. If you were to save the wiring, you'd have to disconnect it all, which we'll have to do on the red truck. But I just cut them off. Just cut them off right here. I think that's it. I wanted to take this spare tire carrier off, but it's missing the deal here. I don't know if I got one laying around or not. I may take that off. Just gonna take that rusty bolt off. Yeah, other than that. Okay, so I'm gonna take my hoist, string her along here, and lift this back up. Okay, and I'll be back after that, and we'll go from there. Yeah, this tire will hold air for about an hour and go flat. That's good enough to move it around. Yeah, I had to take the little screws off there. Okay, so let me hook up the hoist, get the ass end jacked up. Doesn't have to be jacked up too much, you know, maybe 6 inches a foot, and then we'll get to the front there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, see what happens here. Okay. Is that gonna, oh, got the vent hose for the differential up there. We can snip that. I think that's about it. Okay, well, I'll be back. I'll show you how I'll do the front here, or attempt to. I'll be back. Okay, guys. I got it off, but I hate using these farm jacks. They are the worst tool ever made. Probably 100-year-old technology that ain't worth a damn. But I bought these two a while back when I did my '69 Chevelle. Did a frame off on it and had to use those two jacks because they jack really tall, and then ended up stacking some tires up underneath of it, which might have to do with this, because what these jacks do is they're not stable at all. They can roll back and forth and side to side. Just the wind catches it right, it'll just, I mean, it fell down 3 or 4 times trying to get it this far, and I could fall at any second. So you can only have it up there for a minute or so and be careful. And then plus the up and the down thing is just the worst thing. A little bit too far and boom, it'll just drop all the way down. Just the worst tool ever made. But what can you do? Okay, yeah, I just stacked all my tires back over there, but I need to put something there to hold that up. And this is the way we're going to load it. See, I had to jack up the middle first. I had to make a piece of wood underneath these two frames there and jack that up just to get this piece of wood underneath of it, because a frame would be in the way. So yeah, anyway, to get it on there won't be that hard. We can just drive that truck up underneath of it. But what we got to do now is take the bed off this truck and get it on this one. So anyway, let me figure out what I want to do. I'm gonna have some lunch here and think about it. I'll be back. It wasn't 2 minutes after I shut the camera off that it slid over and fell off. Just, yeah, probably the best way to do this if you're in a shop is to get a come along on each corner here, tie it up to the ceiling and drive it out from under it. But anyway, I'm going to put some tires on this end, then bring the hoist the other end. I'm going to swing it over here more straight and just block it up on tires for now, because we got to use all this stuff to get the bed off the red truck. And we're going to bang dolly these, see these indentations here? There's kind of a big one right there, and all these indentations. I'm just going to dolly them out. There's that big one there. I probably should throw a little red paint on there. Maybe we'll do that, throw a little red paint, and then that's about it. It's ready to go on that truck. Okay, I'll be back a little while. Okay guys, I got it straightened up and on a couple of tires for now. So I'm just gonna bang in these areas here. And we'll probably use a little dolly, but bang these in. Just like that along there, and I just put the truck down here. I don't know, it's going to be a pain in the ass to move that and get that bed lined up and that bed onto that truck. So once I get this off, I'm just going to hook a chain to it and drag it somewhere. Maybe down over there, or maybe up by this truck or something. It ain't really worth anything but scrap metal, but anyway. Okay, let me do this, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull this truck backwards, either there or there. Nikki's got to come out here in a little bit, so I can't have the truck here, but I may just put it over here and loosen up all the bolts and get it all ready for tomorrow. Then tomorrow we'll take the red bed off and drive up underneath this one and get that one bolted on. So anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, I scuffed that down. We're going to go ahead and paint that red. So I'll show you the paint we're going to paint the whole truck with. It's some stuff I got off eBay years ago, and I don't know, I think I bought it for my '85 Corvette, but then I ended up I had some base coat, acquired some base coat red, and I went base clear on it. I believe this is acrylic enamel. It says high gloss candy apple red. That's been stirring it up, so that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna mix up a little bit of it. I got a full gallon, enough to do that truck, especially since we're going two-tone with it. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to paint the inside of that bed, or I should just put some truck bed coating on it. I'm not sure yet. I probably will have enough to paint the inside of that bed, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to mix up a little bit of this, and we'll see what it looks like. High gloss, I don't know. I don't know how shiny it is compared to regular paint, but anyway, let me mix up some paint and I'll be back. Okay, guys. I cleaned the gun out last time. Last time I used it was painting the white El Camino. There's a little bit of white still in there, even though I put some thinner in and cleaned it out. So it's about shot. We'll be using a new gun when I paint the whole thing, but for now, see little bits of white shooting out. Some of the white dried up inside the gun and barely coming out. Yeah, it's not spraying worth a damn. See all the white shooting out? It's not covering very good. Anyway, it looks like a good color red. I'm gonna be all right. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, there it is. Yeah, I think that's a good looking red. Might be almost the same. Anyway, it'll probably get all covered up with primer and everything else, but anyway, at least no brown will show through, or gold, or whatever the hell color that is. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I know the video is probably pretty long. It's all these damn leaks. I had a piece of cardboard underneath there last night and there wasn't any leaks, so we may have fixed it. But then again, it's sitting this way. I'll have to get it sitting the other way. And I never did top it off with transmission fluid. So I'll need to top it off with fluid, park it over there overnight, and see if anything leaks. But other than that, we'll continue on with the, yeah, this tailgate's nice here. In the meantime, I'm going to take the taillights and bumper and everything off this, unbolt the bed, get it ready, and we'll pull that one off and then drive up underneath that one if I can get it all perched up again and bolt it on. As far as these cab corners, I don't know, there's some bubbling there. We're just gonna have to grind them out. I'll probably leave the bed loose, see if I can push it back to about here in case I gotta get at this. I don't think I'm going to cut the cab corners out of that one, so I'll probably just put in some little patches of metal there. Anyway, we'll do that next episode. Get the bed on next episode. Get the cab corners done. and body work. So, okay, thanks everybody for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.